You're sitting in that new car smell, feeling like you finally made it. And the second you pulled off that lot, you silently handed thousands of dollars to a machine that's already shrinking in value. That's not a car purchase. That's a subscription to being broke. In year one, most new vehicles lose roughly 20% of their original value. Not over time, not gradually, in 12 months. So on a $45,000 car, you've watched about 9,000 evaporate before you've even hit your second set of oil changes. That's not wear and tear. That's the price of being first. Now layer the loan on top of that. Most new car buyers aren't paying cash, they're financing, and the terms keep stretching. The math inside a long loan is brutal in a specific way. Early payments are almost entirely interest. You're barely touching the principal, while the car is simultaneously shedding value at its fastest rate. The result is a gap, what you owe versus what the car is actually worth. And that gap has a name: being underwater, upside down. Pick your metaphor. The outcome is the same. In Q1 2026, 30.9% of trade-ins toward new vehicle purchases carried negative equity, while the highest share recorded since early 2021, nearly 1 in 3. And it's not a small gap they're carrying. The average underwater trade-in now sits at 7,183s in negative equity. That's money owed on a car that's already gone, dragged into the next purchase like a financial anchor. Think about what that actually means. You're paying interest on a thing that is simultaneously shrinking in value. You're financing a melting ice cube, and the loan is designed so the ice melts faster than your payments can keep up. You probably need a car. That's not the argument. The argument is that the new part is the trap, not the car itself. The depreciation cliff, the underwater math, the interest compounding on a shrinking asset, none of that exists if you let someone else absorb year one. But the depreciation hit is only half the damage. The other half is quieter and somehow worse. It's what that money could have been doing instead. That new car smell has a price tag that never appears on the sticker. Here it is. The average new car payment right now is $770 a month. That's the number. Sit with it for a second, not as a monthly expense, but as a question: what happens if that $770 goes somewhere else instead? Put it into a basic index fund every month for 5 years at a historically reasonable 7% annual return, and you're looking at roughly $55,000, not $770, not even close. The car, meanwhile, has been shedding value the entire time, worth maybe 40 cents on the dollar by year 5. You paid for a depreciating asset while that same 770 quietly compounded into a wealth-building machine. But here's the part that makes this worse. This isn't a one-time mistake. Most people don't pay off one car and stop. They roll straight into the next loan, trading in a car they're still underwater on, dragging that negative equity forward, and resetting the clock on a brand new depreciation curve. The average new car loan term is now nearly 70 months. That's almost 6 years. Many people never actually finish the loan before they're already at the dealership again. Run that cycle for 2 decades, and you haven't just lost one car's worth of compounding. You've lost the entire thing on repeat. The alternative isn't complicated. A 3 to 5-year-old used car costs significantly less up front. The steepest depreciation cliff already absorbed by the first owner. You step in after the damage is done and let the payment delta. That gap between 770 and what a used car actually costs start working for you instead of against you. That new car smell costs roughly $240 a month more than the used alternative. That's the real sticker price. The person in the slightly older car investing the difference isn't missing out. They're quietly winning, and the math isn't even close. The new car isn't just a car. It's a signal. Psychologists call it conspicuous consumption. Buying things that broadcast implied success to everyone around you. The shiny new vehicle in the driveway says, "I made it." The 3-year-old used car says nothing. And that silence feels uncomfortable in a way most people never consciously examine. So the decision isn't purely financial, it's emotional. You're not just buying transportation. You're buying the feeling of being a responsible, successful adult. And the car industry has spent decades making sure that feeling costs exactly $770 a month. Here's what makes it genuinely cruel. That feeling evaporates in about 3 weeks. The new car smell fades. The novelty disappears. But the payment doesn't. It runs for nearly 6 years. And by the time it's almost gone, the cycle restarts because the car now feels old. The status hit was temporary. The wealth damage is permanent, and the damage is showing up in the data. The share of auto loan balances at least 90 days delinquent reached 5.6%. In the first quarter of 2026, surpassing the prior peak set back in 2010, people aren't just choosing to spend more, they're choosing to spend more than they can actually afford, because the social pull of a new car is stronger than the spreadsheet logic telling them not to. This is the trap hiding inside the new car smell. It's not just depreciation. It's not just compounding you're missing. It's that the entire purchase is engineered to feel like a smart, mature decision when the math says the opposite. The person who buys the boring used car, pockets the difference, and lets it compound isn't making a sacrifice. They're just not paying a premium for a feeling that disappears before the first oil change. That's the real sticker price. And it was never on the window. Subscribe to Build Wealth with Angelo for more moves that quietly build wealth that sound boring but work in the long run. If you are getting a value from this video, please like this video and share it with a person that might need to listen to it. Always remember, money speaks one language. If you save me today, I will save you tomorrow. Until the next video, peace.